Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do a blade battle for you. This is an interesting one because it's a little bit different. I tend to do a lot of the same kind of knives, so like I'll do the F5 versus the Roxy 3, right? And they're very similar. These are a little bit different. So this is going to be, obviously by the title you can tell, I have the Oaks Works Osprey EDX versus the Pena X Series Apache with the kickstop. Bang! These two knives, absolutely incredible. I have absolutely fallen in love with both of these knives, and I am glad to be doing this battle. So we shall see who shall be victorious. Are you ready to rumble? All right, here we go, guys. We have our usual categories for a blade battle. We have materials, price, perceived value, aesthetics, ergos, cutting, carry, sounds, action, fit and finish. Leftability is the last one. As always, if you're right-handed, feel free to remove that category right there and recalculate everything. We have the Osprey EDX from Oaks Works and the Pena X Series Apache with the kickstop. And let's get into this, guys. It's going to be a good one. First, brief overview of each knife. This Oaks Works Osprey EDX is an excellent EDC knife coming in from Oaks Works, or Eric Oaks. You have, it's just an excellent flipper / fuller deployment knife. And I pre-ordered this, got it in the last month or so, and I fell in love. And I've really enjoyed it. It has a reversible clip, and we'll get into all that stuff. This is the Pena X Series Apache with the kickstop mechanism. So basically, it's got a hidden flipper tab. When that deploys, it hides in the back here. It actually becomes a stop pin, which is really cool. And this is also a fantastic EDC knife. So I have loved both of these since I got them, and they are similar in ways, right? You see the materials, but they're also very different in other ways, you know? So I thought this would be a good battle because I've fallen in love with both of these, and I think both of these are sort of sleepers. Like, I think they're both still available at this moment. Now, Nick Shabazz just posted his review and disassembly of this knife today, so it's possible these are gone now. Who knows what would happen there. I posted a disassembly yesterday. Sadly, they didn't sell out after that. I'm just kidding. Excellent knife. And these, I believe, are at a few retailers still, but I can't be certain. And let's start. So materials. Well, they're very similar. We have titanium frame locks made by bolster locks made by Riot with carbon fiber. This one's marbled and this one's checkered. This one does have this really cool texture pattern to it. And then they both have M390 belt satin grinds. They're on bearings. They have titanium milled pocket clips. I mean, these are extremely similar in materials. So I think I have to just give it to the Pena because we have marbled or black shred carbon fiber versus this checkered carbon fiber. You can get this in micarta and G10. You can get this in other types of micarta. So I got to give it to the Apache on that just because it's a little bit nicer carbon fiber. That's really the only reason. Price also needs to go to the Apache because in this configuration with carbon fiber, it's $300. In this configuration with carbon fiber, this one is $330. At least it was on the pre-order. $360 if you buy it now. So this starts at $330. This starts at like $270, I believe. So again, Apache. Perceived value. So this one's interesting. This one went to a lot of retailers, and they sold a good amount of these, obviously. But they're still for sale, and I wouldn't say they're selling for more than retail or anything, but they're not losing, right? The Osprey EDX, I have no idea what the secondary looks like on these, and they also are still available. Neither of these, like, just instantly sold out. So, to me, I think this is a tie because I don't think either is worth more, and I don't think either is, like, at a detriment. So, it's really hard perceived value-wise. You know, you could also argue, okay, materials versus what you get. Is there a perceived value there? This one cost a bit more than this one, but I feel like you do get a little more in the, you know, milling and all that stuff, reversible clip and everything, the hollow grind. So I think it comes out even in my opinion. So I'm going to give them a 0 each on that. Aesthetics. So this is a really hard category for me. I'm trying not to use the word interesting. Man, I absolutely love the look of the Apache. I mean, that marbled carbon fiber is beautiful. The bolsters look excellent. This sheep's foot blade, I'm a sheep's foot fan. Flat grind. It just looks absolutely excellent. Closed, looks really good. Titanium milled clip. I mean, there's really nothing to not like about the aesthetics on this. On the Osprey EDX, I also love the aesthetics on this. Not everybody is the biggest fan, I guess, aesthetically of this knife. I think it's sexy. I really like it. I feel like it's a really premium version of the Stinger from Ferrum Forge. That's just my brain working that way. If you check them out, you'll see they're very similar in a lot of ways. Size, shape, fuller. This one used to have a flipper tab. Like, just a lot of things are similar, right? But I don't know. The only thing I'd say that's a detriment to this one, that this one doesn't have, is the screws. They're just everywhere. There's 1, 2. I've done this in the review. There's like 7 screws on that side, 6 on this side. And then you have the reversible clip. Technically, you could say that screws up the aesthetics. It doesn't bother me at all. I love the chainmail that doesn't have that, but I think I got to give it to the Apache just overall. It's a little bit more of a cleaner design, even though I absolutely love the Osprey. So again, Apache. Osprey has 0 points right now. Ergos. So this is where I think the Osprey is going to start to shine a little bit, is when we get to use case stuff. The ergos on this are fantastic. I mean, you get a really good grip in this back grip right here. You get a full hand grip with my large glove size hand. And then you even have this choil to choke up with, and you get an even more controlled grip. It's just so excellent. Then you have the Apache, which it's awesome that the flipper hides because you have this flat portion right here. So even with a large glove size hand, I can fit my full hand onto this knife, which is excellent. And this is really a comfortable knife. There's no uncomfortability about it or anything. It really is superbly comfortable, very neutral, right? But I would just say that overall, I think this just has a little bit more going for it ergonomically. So I'm going to give this one to the Osprey. Cutting. So this is another category where they both shine. I mean, they both have great edges. They both have great grinds. They're both Riot grinds. Relatively thin. I've had no issues with this. Personally, I love the sheep's foot because I can get down and cut my shipping labels out. Both are M390, done extremely well, but this does have a hollow grind, and it is done exceptionally well. For such a short blade, they did this hollow grind just so excellently, and I still have the ability to get down and do my, whatever you call those, utility cuts, I guess, for shipping labels and things like that. But then you also have a little bit longer of a blade compared to the Apache, so you can do a little more work, I guess. Although, yeah, cutting edge-wise, let's see, cutting edge-wise. Yeah, you definitely get a lot more cutting edge. So I think I got to give this to the Osprey. It's just, to me, getting up that close to the blade is a little bit better than, even with this being excellent ergonomically, you get pretty damn close. But I'll take a hollow grind with a thin edge like this over a flat grind any day. So I'm giving that to the Osprey and the extra blade length, even though this is a fantastic cutter. Carry. So again, this has to go to the Osprey. They both carry extremely well. And honestly, I've never had a problem with this clip. I don't care about how deep it is. It's, if a knife carries this deep, that's fine for me. The thing with the Osprey is it has a reversible clip. It does have a little bit of a tight clip depending on your pants, but I feel like that wore in pretty quickly because I haven't thought about it since I really had the issue. So it must have, I don't know. It works fantastically for me. But it has a lefty clip or reversible clip. So I got to give it to the Osprey. So I think we just tied this bitch up. Sounds. Man, this is tough because they both make really, really cool sounds. This one has that unique sound with the kickstop. Really clacks out of there. And then when it drops, you hear a little bit of click, click going on because it hits I guess it drops or hits the stop pin flipper tab thing. And it makes some kind of noise. And then you get a little bit of a click when it comes down. Just... I love it. Absolutely love the sounds on this. But this also has very unique sounds. When it comes out, it just has this very unique thwack to it when it comes out. And then you also can drop it and get a good click on the close. So they both are very good in their own right. So I love them both equally in sounds. And again, pardon my fingers, guys. It's an ongoing struggle. I dropped another knife, closed it, and it cracked my nail and started bleeding again. So I tried super glue again, but I tried putting it on with a brush. So it was a little more even. And then I had to go, and I put my gloves on, and it took the freaking material, whatever. Anyway, sorry about that. They both are excellent. It's really hard for me to pick a winner in terms of sounds, honestly. I like them both equally. It's kind of impossible for me to choose. I think I might go with... I'm going to go with the kickstop. There's just a little bit more of a click and a clack because of that hidden flipper tab. So it's just off the cuff going with the Apache. But this is excellent. Action. Oh, man. This is tough, too, because this flipper tab is one of my favorite this year. Just, man, that kickstop. A lot of people were worried that it would... have some flipper play or whatever, but you can't feel any movement, and then it really has the perfect detent. At least this one does, and it just fires out of there, and then closing, it'll drop, shake down. It's very smooth on both ends. Man, is it good. Very smooth in the pivot as well. You have no play in any direction, just an excellent action on this knife. But the Osprey similarly has amazing action. This flipper tab fires out, drops, very smooth shakedown. I'd say this one's even more drop shut than this one is, but not by much, just maybe a little more weight in the blade. I also have skiffs in here now, and this one has stock bearings. Excellent, right? But this one has a fuller. So you can Spidey flick it, and I think that might be the differentiator here. Although I will say the flipper tab, before comparing them, I prefer this one. I just get a better, it's just smoother. This one can be a little bit if you're sweaty or something, it can hurt a little bit. It's not really an issue, but I miss it sometimes. What else was I going to say? Shit, I forget now. Yeah, it's locked up solid. But I did put skiffs in there because I felt like I should. Dead centered. I mean, they're both Oh, what I was going to say is, believe it or not, I always complain about on the Pena front flippers, it builds up my dead skin cells and I have to scrape them out or it becomes smooth. That actually happened with this as well. Now, it wasn't to the point where I couldn't flip it easily, but like I could tell a difference. So it seems to be Pena's jimping. It's just the way he does he's designed his jimping just really takes skin off your fingers and then holds it in there and you have to scrape it out. Whereas I've never really had that problem with any other knife ever. It's just Pena knives. Front flipper or regular flipper, it seems, have that issue. Kind of weird, right? I think I'm going to give action to the Osprey because of the multiple deployments. Just makes sense to me. So, there we go. Fit and finish, man. So, these are both made by Riot out of China. Best OEM in the game as far as I'm concerned. And the fit and finish on both is just exceptional. I mean, seriously, you can't feel transitions between things. You know, the pivots are very nice. People have been complaining lately about spinning pivots, and I used to be one of those people. But when Riot does it, it doesn't bother me at all because it's done extremely well, and usually the pivot doesn't walk. So as long as it doesn't walk, I don't really care how you do it. As long as you don't have a spinning pivot with tooling on one side, that bothers me. But the way they've done it on both of these is excellent. I mean, dead center, just beautifully done on both of these. It's really hard to pick one over the other, right? Because they're so similar and they're done by the same company. So the only things I could point to are this does not have a lock bar insert or over travel stop, I suppose. And this does. This also has that beautiful sort of chainmail looking finish on the bolsters, has the fuller. It also has the hollow grind. So the reversible clip that's done extremely well. You can barely tell it has that filler tab. The only negative, I guess, would be the all the screws. So I don't know. I guess I do want to give it to the Osprey because of some of those features where this is lacking some things because of the kickstop, which in itself is an awesome feature, though, right? And that was done extremely well by Riot. They implemented that extremely well. But I got to give it to one of these, and I think hollow grind, this cool finish, the reversible clip that's kind of hidden. I'm going to go with the Osprey. All right, last category is leftability, and they're both excellent in terms of being able to function them left-handed. You can put your finger on the lock bar here, and then it'll lock up, which sucks, but it's a bolster lock, so, I mean, I've never actually put my finger there. It's always been up there or over here. Like, naturally, it's just not shoving pressure on there. It just works excellently left-handed. This one, same thing. I mean, I've actually had more issues right-handed because I've accidentally put pressure on the lock bar over here and then had issues with the flipper tab, although it seems to be working fine there. But left-handed, you do have to climb down a little bit to get the reverse flick because of that frame lock. If you put pressure on it, it's not coming out. So you have to climb down a little bit to shoot it out. But again, the flipper works fantastically. And again, the sort of main differentiator here, lefty clip, no lefty clip. So Osprey wins that category. And the Apache started off hot, but I think the Osprey took it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a total of 10 points. We had one tie here at perceived value, but it wouldn't have made a difference. Now, if you remove the point for leftability, if you're right-handed and you move it over to the Apache, you'd be looking at 5-5 and it would be a tie. So it's a lot closer than I think it came out. And honestly, in my mind, it is very close. I love both of these equally. I truly do. They both have a place in my collection for different reasons. This one to me is just such a good EDC knife. It's lightweight. It fits in my left front pocket, which is nice. Has excellent ergos with the choil, with that hollow grind and everything. Action is still fun to play with and everything. Has that fuller to flick. I just really like this knife. And then this, I just love the unique mechanism. I love the size of this knife. It's a very like churchy knife. So something maybe if I was going to some event or something, maybe I'd put this in my pocket. I love that it has that kickstop. I think I said that already. It's just unique. The Lee Williams kickstop. Also has a great blade. It really is excellent for my tasks with packages and shipping labels and such. Excellent action. Beautiful looking knife. Just an amazing knife from Pena, and I think both of these are just true winners. But the Osprey EDX was your winner today of the blade battle. So shout out to Eric Oakes for designing an absolute beauty. I love this knife, guys. Excuse me. If they're still available, I highly recommend them. I know they have a high price tag, but so does anything made by Riot. So it's really odd to question this one when you're buying all these other knives that you're paying that amount for anyway, coming from Riot. It's just, you know, the first time Eric Oakes has done it, and once he comes out with more, then it'll become more normal. But anyway, I love this knife. I also love this knife. And guys, I love you so much. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.